founder of Growthonics Consulting and entrepreneur venture dedicated to enabling leadership development, capability building, and strategic growth for both entrepreneurs and organizations. Over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are towards the almost the fag end of the day, and the topic itself, it says, of course, I always feel we are the first generation to feel the impact of the climate change so deeply, and perhaps we are going to be the last ones with the power to make that change. Right? It's a privilege to be here for the WICCI Environment and Sustainable Living Council session today. And I bring in perspective from the communities and, of course, the entrepreneurial communities that I work with uh, because they are constantly intersecting with the environment and the sustainability as well. We often think impact comes with, something that we're doing more and more growth, more scale, because often we hear the term scaling up, and of course, more consumption. India is a classic example of more consumption. But what if the high impact future depends on doing less harm? And of course, making better choices and also with a good intention. And of course, that to me is the low impact living. And of course, let me share something very personal. Even in fact, this morning, I was to come here, so I opened my wardrobe and I was looking at all my sarees and I came back. So my mom was sitting there and she says, "Have you decided what to wear?" I said, "No, I can't decide." This is a problem of plenty. So, when you actually look at our own wardrobes, our own items that we have bought impulsively, a lot of times because of the fashion or something that's going on in trend, it's not a waste which we are doing at the end of it. It is the mindlessness that was the initial thought, right? Because you bought it with nothing to think about and what is the impact it's going to have. It's just filling up the cupboards. So now what I do is I just ask simple question to myself. Not that I've bought any sarees in the last 6 months, so I'm very happy about it. Is this adding any value or just adding volume, right? And that's a small shift that will make impact on the consumption. It is also about the intentionality that we think about. I think we have grown up with gardens, with sustainability. My son often jokes and he says, "You don't throw anything." I literally don't throw anything. If I was given this paper today, I would still fold it and take it back home because then if I have to give a pass to my maid when she has to leave the society when I give, I'll make four of these and I'll use it probably 4 times. So I won't throw it. So my cupboard has all of these filled up. And of course, when I'm working with the entrepreneurs, I've realized what they are also asking now is basically how do I grow is not the question they're asking. They're saying how do I grow responsibly, which means how do I ensure that I'm giving back to the society? How do I sustainability because it should not be a constraint. It should be a leadership ability. It should be a leadership advantage. And because it is going to create a ripple effect on how we consume, how we build businesses around it. In fact, if we I manage larger events, larger conferences, and one of the big pieces that we have is about the wastage that happens at the end of any conference. Number of papers, plastic bottles. I managed one of the conferences last year in Mumbai, and the person that I did that conference for, one, she ensured there was sattvic food. Imagine a five-star hotel having catering to 200 people over 6 meals, absolutely sattvic food. And she asked the event production people not to use any one of these flex. She said, bring canvas. And you have to reuse the other side and send me pictures when you reuse it. So, how do we actually reduce waste, consume consciously, support businesses responsibly, and of course, a leadership responsible, and I would say, is a moral opportunity for all of us. The future will belong to the leaders who are not only profitable but also purposeful. And of course, I'm going to close this with We do not need few people doing sustainability perfectly. We need like a million people doing it consistently. So consistency is the piece. It is not about how small or big the effort that you make. So because when we live with low impact lives together, we create a high impact future. We'll close that with that. Thank you.
I'd like to invite Preksha Singh. Preksha Singh is the Chief Executive Officer of Agrishil Infratech Private Limited and seasoned entrepreneur with more than 50 years experience. Preksha.
First of all, thank you so much for putting up this beautiful platform, getting so many formidable women together in a room and discussing about, I would say, the most burning topic today: how do we move forward sustainably? So I've heard a lot of ideas and I feel so excited today. I used to think I was one of the mad ones who would do things. So in my society in Noida, we started the waste segregation. So I, with a bunch of kids and a lot of friends, we started this trend. So मैं सोच रही थी कि मैं करी क्यों रही हूँ क्योंकि लोग they would just shut the doors on our faces. We would go door to door. We did all those campaigns. But today I feel really happy. There's so many people like me. Thank you so much. So, as for my work, globally, construction industry accounts for almost 37 to 39% of carbon emissions. So, it's very important that this particular industry builds mindfully and thoughtfully for the future. So, at my work, I'm the CEO of Agrishil Infratech, and we launched our first RERA-approved township in Lucknow in 2025, and it's a massive 36-acre campus. So I was excited at the scope of things I could do for sustainable development. Few things very quickly I would say: we are about 55% open township, as in 55% open in green spaces, and we are very strategically placed green areas throughout the society to reduce the urban heat island effect. So that's basically when you step out on a concrete street, you feel very very hot. That is exactly what is making our cities hotter. So buildings absorb heat during the day, and at night they don't cool enough. In fact, they radiate heat. So summers perennially feel hot throughout the day. So you need to balance that out. Either you use materials which do not radiate heat at night, or you balance it with green cover surrounding all these buildings. So those are some of these options. So you also need to have a very robust infra of rainwater harvesting, because now the water we see massive flooding in cities. That's because of the absence of proper drainage and rainwater harvesting. So at least in our township, what we have done is we have built separate drainage for stormwater and separate for sewage water. We have in-house STP, so we're trying to be a net zero discharge kind of facility. We'll be having segregation and waste processing very much inside the campus. We're trying to embrace solar wherever we can, wherever the cost is allowing us to do, and selecting materials which are, how we can reduce concrete, how we can reduce things that doesn't really have to be changed every couple of years. So choose things that will last much longer. So that is the way we are trying to reduce our carbon impact, trying for massive green areas, not just choosing palm trees, we're choosing really bushy, larger trees which can impact the neighborhood and the society. So thank you so much, and I'm so glad to meet all of you.
Thanks a lot for sharing your beautiful thoughts with us. Now, I'd like to invite Dr. Asha Sharma. Dr. Asha Sharma is a committed education and lifelong learner who believes education extends beyond textbook and schools. Over to you, Dr. Asha Sharma.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all to be a part of this wonderful organization, and thank you, dear Soul Sisters, for giving me this platform here. My topic is low impact living. I'll not take much of time understanding that others are also waiting in. My take is low impact living is not a limitation. It is a powerful choice. It does not have limits. It has many choice, multiple choice. A choice to consume less, waste less. When I'm going to consume less, definitely I'm going to waste less also. And care more. In a world chasing excess, having excess of everything, as madam has rightly put, when we have to dress up, we think n number of times what to put on. तो कपड़े सबसे ज्यादा इज्जत देते हैं, जैसे अलमारी को लोग पैरों तक आ जाते हैं, फिर उठा के रखना पड़ता है उनको। सबसे इज्जत हम लेडीज को कपड़े देते हैं, कोई नहीं देता, कपड़े जूते सब देते, भरे हुए सब तरफ आते रहते, पैरों में भी लगते रहते हैं। In a world chasing excess, choosing simplicity is an act of leadership. You have to have that kind of conviction that minimal is sufficient. Simplicity is the best city. It's my own personal, you can say, thought. It's my statement whenever I go for morning assembly, meet student, I always tell my staff, my students that simplicity is the best city. It's easy to maintain. You do not have to do anything in excess. It's very simple. It's consistent. It's uniform. It does not change with the change of fashion. It's just like this only. Because the future we dream of will not be built by what we take. If I'm taking something, then definitely I'm not going to build the future, especially for the generations to come. What I am already taking in, how can I leave it for the futures? Every mindful step today echoes into a sustainable tomorrow. So let us live gently and create a future that stands strong. It's up to us whether we want to live through our needs or wants, whether we want to live up to our, you can say, utilization or exploitation. I'll not take much of time. Thank you once again. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. And now I'd like to welcome Advocate Rizma Koyal, who is representative of Speaker Aisha Farooq.
Hi everyone, I'm Advocate Rizma Koyal and I'm being facilitating on behalf of Dr. Aisha Farooq. I was just handed over the platform the last 1 hour. I was in a court and the lady has to arrange for some personal engagements. She was therefore not able to come here. I was not even knowing the topic, but I'll just say that woman is nature and nature is woman, and only women can drive this nature. Women are the only leaders, I think so, who can drive this nature sustainably. We are maximum women might be driving by their own cars. Yes, we are emitting much of the norms as well, violating the norms as well. However, being an advocate, I'll say that we can sustainably manage the nature, environment, and we need to do it. Regarding the rights of a woman, everyone is knowing it, and who is violating it. The availability of POXO Act, POSH Act at the centers there. Maximum of the people we still are not following it. Being a woman, I am representing the Delhi State Legal Service Authority and I am representing the poor women and the children for free of cost there. I know there how the women's rights are being violated, but I still request all the women to respect their rights, obligations and duties as well. Because nowadays the women are also breaching and overpowering their rights. I just request all the women that we are being empowered by government, by law, with the multiple rights in their hands, like domestic violence cases and multiple. I'm just coming from the morning, the family code. I'm sorry, I'm burdening with these things as well. But I just simply say men and women both are the equal forces who can drive this society and environment sustainably. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. And I want to say it's sweeter and deeper than anyone knows. This world is a garden with every woman a rose. Especially the women are working towards environment.
Exactly.
Thank you. So, please start further. I will request Dr. Amit Kapri to please rise the stage. Preeti Singh. Reksha Singh. Dr. Asha Sharma. Dr. Asha Sharma. Ridhima Goyal, please accept award on behalf of Aisha Farooq. Thank you, Soul Sisters, for sharing your excellent thoughts with us. Now, we move on to next session, and I call the, yeah, please. All the speakers, please come forward.